Woke up.
To the Gentleman's Club podcast.
Hey.
Who are you?
I'm Amanda.
Who are you sitting with?
It's Ashton.
I'll take it.
I noticed I forgot the bomb last time.
That's cool.
And back there,
Hey guys. It's me. It's Zach again.
oh my God, he changed it again. This is so good.
I like it. Go ahead. Keep going. No, you got it. I like it.
Okay, guys, so,
Hey Mike Amanda.
Wait, no, hold on. How are we?
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
She was going to do it.
I'm sorry.
Look at you being a male.
Guys, I'm new at this,
I
okay?
apologize. I was mansplaining. My bad. My bad.
I'm like, let me flick him.
Please do. My bad. Go ahead.
Ashton, how the hell are you?
Well, ask Zach first.
Well, I asked you
Oh,
first.
I feel.
Damn it.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
She's
I'm
the
not
A Mike. She
prepared.
gets to choose.
I'm solid, man. I'm solid. Everything is great. Lots of laughs and giggles. I feel so much better than I did. Rough times for me personally.
Oh, no.
No, don't get too excited. It's
Okay.
all good. It's just temporary.
Okay.
But outside of that, I feel amazing.
Well, that's great to hear.
Fast.
Zach.
I'm looking for 150 grand. If anybody so happens to know where I can discover this.
Give me a sound.
That was so
anybody
matter of
knows-
fact.
If anybody knows where I can discover this in a relatively quick time frame, please let me know. DM me, I'll answer.
I was like, honestly, I feel like we all would love to have that in our lives right
That's
now.
a fact.
I have a specific purpose for it, but it's okay.
Without a doubt. All right. One thing I gotta say, men, set me up for a bomb coming up after that. Men are the fucking prize.
Look at me, roll my eyes.
Men are the prize.
That might be the thumbnail now.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
that? What do you mean by that?
There's some things going around right now. A lot of women have been proposing to men, and I would say that this has been happening this year for sure. But that's the thing, and I'm curious from both perspectives. I'm going to ask the other man in the room because he is also another trophy. How do you?
When you give yourself a bath.
Does it?
What we're talking about?
Does it hit different if women propose? How would it make you feel if you
Be
were
honest.
ever-
Like, be totally honest.
right?
To be completely honest, I am perfectly fine with the structure the way that it is now, because I feel like if you catch me off guard with the proposal, now I got to think. If I haven't thought about the proposal and you hit me with the proposal, now I got to think about a lot of shit, and it kind of makes me feel bad for women, because if you're not on the
Thank
same
you.
wavelength and a man gets on down on the knee and pulls that ring out,
Yep.
you're like, oh, I didn't think we were there.
Oh yeah.
I feel scared. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, no, I'm glad that the power's in my hand.
A question though. How does that?
I've misused that power, by the way.
how does that differ from?
What? You want honesty?
I heard you. Is it different for the men though?
Give me, like, what do you mean?
Because we all seen the scenarios where the man thought that this is my opportunity to propose, and either the woman denied him or
Yeah.
the woman said yes and truly did not mean it. You know what I mean? Like that stuff happens. So
Yeah.
there's a risk on both sides. Is
Oh,
there not?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And
There's a
I have a
risk on both
question. So
sides.
if a woman proposes to a man, does he have to wear his wedding band the entire time during the engagement?
Yes.
You are supposed to, yes.
If it's like, if we're doing the rule, I mean, if we're doing the same rule.
I remember going through this phase, and I was really young, and I didn't know how to feel about it.
What do you mean you were going through a phase?
I was proposed to when I was really young.
By whom?
What? Wait, I'll get the
No, fuck it. End the episode.
We're gonna be back because we need to talk about this shit.
How young were you?
Nigga, how long have I known you and I've never heard this story before?
How young were you, Ashton?
I was really young. I was
Of age?
I was not allowed to drink. No.
That's
you were
all I
an
did.
adult. You were an adult.
I
though.
was not an adult.
Oh.
Or close to.
And what happened?
when these cameras come
They were
off.
serious? This person was serious?
Yeah. Absolutely. It felt like that.
And how did you feel? How did your manhood feel?
At the time, the way that it was presented was in a more of a intimate setting. I was cool with it.
It was at dinner.
Yeah, that was it. Somebody's about to eat.
Oh my God.
Let me try to be as serious as possible.
The way you said it.
But no,
It's gonna be the shortest.
yeah, no, we can cut it short for real. But no, it was a different feeling, man. And naturally, when you're still in the I don't even know what the right phase is. The puppy dog, I'm in love with you kind of feels.
Honeymoon, yeah.
Yeah, you're still in the super honeymoon phase and you're young. Like, yo, that shit
felt good.
That shit was fire. Nah, you want me? Bet. You got the ring already?
Oh, you right.
You knew my size? Oh my God. You see this motherfucker? It was an interesting experience. And at the time I was with it.
Yeah.
I was definitely at the time
I think it's if it's the right person, then maybe you with it.
I'm
but-
glad you bring this up. For the women that are thinking about proposing to their men,
do that shit.
I'm
Men
gonna give you-
are
I'm-
the prize.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
I disagree with that statement.
Okay,
I'm going to give you a piece of advice. No man knows his ring size.
That's a fact.
I don't know mine either.
We don't.
Oh, but it was a similar time frame of when graduation was happening.
Smart. Oh,
Listen.
She had
Round
a
of
ring?
applause. That's what I'm saying. Like,
She legitimately had a ring?
oh no, I had a ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
he got proposed. to.
Wow.
I'm shocked too.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, but it was an interesting experience. So just, man, don't ever sell yourself too short. Remember, you
are the prize.
you are the
Make her
prize.
get down.
But
on
never get too comfortable, my friends.
Hey, I heard you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just being rude.
But I'm curious though, like, does it change things if the woman, and especially now, like, has there ever sometimes, would you say that women know, well, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of asking a question that I'm not
Go ahead.
sure if you know that you've been there. Like,
Yeah, I'll try my
do you-
best.
Do you know for sure when you're ready to be married to that man and then you're just waiting for him to propose?
Or is it in the moment?
Okay, so like I said, I'm a very different kind of person. Like I like to be in control of situations. So not every person woman
down
likes
on
that.
so down on one knee is where you go, right?
No, no. I'm very scared of
My
marriage.
terms and my terms only.
I'm scared of marriage, like in general, but
Why?
because I just think it's so permanent. It scares me that it's so permanent.
Cool.
I'm like, I don't have a tattoo either, like, cause I'm scared of the like that is so permanent.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I
Learning
think,
so much about my
I think that scares me a lot of like, yeah, like it's like I could love you and I could trust you right now, but like 10 years you might be a totally different person and I may be a totally different person. Is that necessarily like,
Wow, it's like the
Where
realm
we're
of reality sits with you.
yeah.
I
That's
look
amazing.
I look at marriage in a certain way, and I'm gonna explain this, and we get back on topic. I look at marriage as an agreement to we're always going to work together to figure it out.
Right. Like we're both going to make effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You're
that's
right.
I think that's the most
Maybe I
positive
should look
way.
at it
I was
that
about
way.
to say that's a more positive way to look at the
Yeah.
situation.
Because the divorce rate in this country is like 50%.
It's insane.
So,
It's insane.
You know, if you do get divorced,
Yeah.
you're not the only one.
Right.
I will say this. I think, does it look silly for a girl to propose? Yes. And let me tell you why it looks silly, because we're not used to it. We're not there yet.
Right.
And I mean, it's silly. It's silly because we haven't seen it and we're still in the idea of like, the man is getting this prize, right? The man is getting this
We're
thing
wired
and-
that way.
And so, and also like, it's still of like, I don't know, that the men takes control of the situation.
Right.
They,
Naturally, we're
men
supposed
still
to lead.
ask out, like,
Yeah.
it's still that way. So I think it's going to be weird for a small period of time, and then it will become normalized for women to ask out men and women to propose. It will become normalized.
Women shoot your shot more often. It's attractive.
But I'll also say
we
this.
talked about that.
That's a
too.
fact.
I'll also say this as far as like public perception is concerned, is like, okay, well, sis, if he ain't proposed to you, is he really serious about the relationship? To where that question can be
Yeah.
asked in the other way, but it's not looked the same.
True.
Right.
But if you look at it from a woman's perspective, it's like, all right, you had to get down on your knees, so he wasn't going to do it.
You're
know, it's so- it's so
you're not wrong.
hard.
You're not wrong. The way society is set up, it is set up that way. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But I'm just curious about if the woman is for sure this is the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
She should.
She's picked up on all the cues. She knows for sure, like, this man is showing her in every single way, without a doubt. There's no question that I am growing to build a future with you, that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You might have caught him on a drunk night. Y'all got wine drunk. He was like, man, I love you, man. Like,
so
spend the rest of
let
my
me
life
ask,
with you.
so let me ask this question. Do you think that the conversation of marriage should be brought up before anyone?
Yes.
proposes?
Yes.
I strongly agree with that.
Okay.
I realize
because it could catch you off guard, and then you don't know what to say, and then you love this person, but you don't.
That-
And I know people that love their partner but do not believe in marriage.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
I'm one of those people.
And that situation happens a lot, especially with everything being filmed now. It's just like, okay, that person will say, yo, I'm going to ask her to marry me. And the whole squad knows except for her. And guess what? Now you got 17 phones
I'm going to
recording.
say yes because I have to.
Exactly. That pressure is not fair to anybody.
15 minutes
involved.
later, can I talk to you?
Yeah. Come here, let me talk to you real quick.
It's like, oh, he's so cute.
No,
Can I talk to you?
no, tell your mom I don't want to talk to her right now. No,
This is so
Yeah,
shocking.
tell your mom I don't want to talk to her right now. Let me talk to you. You're like, you just might not be reading that right, and that person might not have been ready. I think talking about that beforehand,
you hear your partner say, can I talk to you?
it's a wrap.
And
bro.
everybody, fellas and ladies, pillow talk is not the same as regular talk.
Men lie at pillow talk.
Yes, correct. So do not trust. Do not.
The
trust
oxytocin
that.
is flowing.
It's not
Yeah.
always intentional, but
You
men
just-
will say
you just wrote
whatever
him.
you ask them to say.
It's got to be 12 o'clock noon. You guys
just-
are sober
yeah,
and you have a
yeah.
real conversation.
You just rode him into oblivion. He'll give you whatever you want at this time.
Tell me you'll never leave me. I'll never leave
I'll
you.
never leave. You do that again? That was great.
Guys, no, I'm just kidding.
It's real. It happens.
I get it.
But yeah, that's just a trend that's going on right now. That's actually pretty funny.
I think honestly, I don't think it's the act. I think it's the kneeling for me. I don't know why it looks so silly. Like I said,
It does.
You know why? Okay, you know exactly. I know exactly why it looks silly because most of the pictures are like a girl in a dress,
Yeah.
and she's kneeling, and it's like, don't kneel in a dress, girl. That ain't right.
Listen,
like my
go
thing
ahead.
is, it's totally like, in my opinion, like proposing to a man, like just do it differently than the man would do it.
Listen, the same
Right?
way that I keep dropping my phone. It's
You
pissing
keep
me off.
dropping shit.
I'm
period.
sorry. The same way that you guys set up for each other's birthday parties, bridal showers, whatever it is, women are ultimate planners. I'll give that to
Period.
you guys 1,000%,
Yeah.
right? Set it up in a way that
Yeah, it's unique
works
to
for
them.
Exactly. That is the most beautiful thing because men are required to do the same thing, correct?
Yeah, and I think the kneeling thing is okay. Like
Pull up a chair.
no, but the kneeling thing, I'm sure it has like a historical context. But I think like for me, it's like I'm like this big man and I'm kneeling to you because
Pull up
I'm
a
like
chair.
so grateful
Yeah,
that
so we can be eye level.
right.
Yeah, like waist high is perfect.
Yeah, and I think it's also like a submissive. Stop it.
Sorry.
Disgusting.
Okay, all right. My bad.
I'm totally good. What I mean is
I was good this episode, man. Come on. I'm done. I'm done.
Amanda was speaking.
Man, I apologize.
I'm
That was
like,
rude
I'm
for me to
speaking.
interrupt.
I'm
That's right.
speaking.
Let me shut the fuck up. I apologize.
I'm just kidding. So anyways, what I mean is that the kneeling thing is just like, to me it's like it shows like submission, like I'm submitting to you, and for some reason, like I said, it's just like a woman like just do it differently because we already submitting because we've been,
Yeah.
the power dynamic there. So
Right.
like it's just weird to see a woman kneel and propose, and I think a lot of those pictures on Facebook are staged.
It could be.
So just, like I've seen people in the comments like, this is so crazy.
Right.
And you're just like, bro,
It's interesting though.
it's we're in a different society now.
I agree.
And let's do better. Like I think, like I said, I think in 20, 30, well, let's not say 20, maybe 50 years, things will be a little bit, different. But I do have a question.
Go ahead.
I
So-
would be 80.
Yeah.
Old ass nigga.
Fuck.
Okay, let's not think about that because
Yeah,
I'm
for real.
terrified of
Yeah,
that.
for real,
Talk
bro.
about terrified of marriage. I'm terrified of that.
All right.
So my thing is I have feelings about taking the last name.
I was gonna say, just
Yeah.
going off of everything
Yeah.
that you else said, I was gonna bring up the last name thing.
Because
Yeah.
okay, so this is my feelings about taking the last name. My name is my identity as a person, And I've accomplished a lot of things with my name on it. My diploma has my name on it. If I become something, like if I'm a leader in this world, my name has a lot of value. And I don't want to give up my identity to be with somebody.
I never thought I'd actually.
that.
I never thought I'd meet somebody who felt that way, because
Yeah,
I've seen that conversation, but I've never.
Yeah.
What's the alternative? Do we combine names?
Okay, but here's the thing. Why do the women like I've thought about like hyphenating my name.
Okay.
You know, like some women do that where it's like my last name and then hyphen the
Hyphenated
other
with
person.
whom you
But I
married?
was like, why? So in a lot of Latino countries, they do both last names. Because right, your family is both families.
Yeah, you're not erasing your family. You
Right.
should-
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
so
understand
you're combining both names.
Yeah,
not.
I don't think, but it's like I've talked to a lot of men. They're like, well, I'm not going to take your last name, and I'm just like, well, that's funny.
I see.
What's wrong with my last
See,
name?
it's funny because that's a real conversation in gay and lesbian couples.
Oh yeah, but it's in a okay. I will say that there is like times where like and again I'm very stereotyping, but the masculine partner they'll take the masculine partner's
Last name.
name.
Okay.
But I mean that's even wrong in a situation, right? A little bit, because you're just like, why does it have to be?
Quick question. Random quick question. If we're sticking in this same realm, do you agree with the idea that women should be allowed to propose? If we're going that way,
Yeah.
so if I'm proposing,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. If she's proposing and you say yes, nigga, take her last
Yeah, I was
name.
about to say you should take,
Take her last name.
Whoever gets on their knee first, honestly.
Wow.
And you say yes.
It's a race for the last name. At that point.
Yeah, you're just proposing.
Yeah, take the last name, fool.
It's-
Like,
Or
it's
just,
actually interesting
just
because,
keep your own
um,
last name.
It's interesting because me and my fiance, obviously, we're not married yet, and we haven't had we've had the conversations for she's taking my last name. That part we were in agreement of.
Okay.
But as far as like, what is she going to take her last name and either hyphenate it or
Yeah.
turn it into her middle name, because it's a very big part of our lives. I mean, we have a business based on
This is what
the
I'm
last
talking
name.
about.
family's last name.
Right.
And that's like really like she should be proud of that. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? That's what I mean. Like, and I don't want to take that away from her.
Okay, I respect that.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. I'm marrying her.
I've told her, I was like, whatever you decide to do with it, like I'm 100% like supportive of it. Like, it's at the end of the day, I'm always going to look at it, and this may be selfish on my end, I'm always going to look at it as Team Jordan.
Gang, gang.
It's the greatest last name in the world as far as I'm concerned.
It's
Right.
easy. It's easy.
Especially-
You're from Chicago.
All
like,
right.
Yeah,
I heard you.
yeah.
I heard you.
told people Michael Jordan was my uncle.
Yeah, no, that is a good. And some people, okay, I've met people who change their last name because they've been made fun of their last name the whole time, and they're just like, I don't like this last name. I'm like this is a better last name.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's always usually the man, but like I've heard my friends have been like, I never liked my last name. I got teased.
Right.
So like this is a better last name for me.
I
Okay.
know women that hate the last name that they're taking.
That's a fact.
I was about to say a last
That's
name,
a
and I was like,
fact.
yeah, there's like some,
Yeah,
there's
don't blur
some
anything out because
Never mind.
I had to stop.
Yeah, that's
There
a
was-
fact.
There's people that I know that have like really like weird last
Right.
names, and you're just like, "Eh, that's creepy.
I've definitely planned it out. I was just like, man, like that'll be the reason for not even, and it doesn't even sound right with my name. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Ashton, how do you feel about it? Like, what do you personally feel about like if a woman came to you and you were going to get married, let's imagine, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And you were going to get
Crazy.
married, and then
Imagination is
she was just
insanity.
like, I don't know if I want to take it. Would you be hurt by that? Because I've heard men like say that's hurtful.
I would somewhat feel a way about
Yeah.
it, and I'm not sure if that's because of the way that we've been programmed. If it's
Absolutely.
a masculinity thing, yeah, I would definitely feel differently about it. I'm not against talking about options.
Yeah.
Just curious on why. You know what I mean? We would have to just break it down. We'd actually have to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to stick to a point
Okay.
on this. I'm going to stick to a side.
Okay.
If we're going to be married and we're going to be partners
Right.
in some form capacity,
Right.
our last names have to match.
I agree.
You can't keep your name. I can't keep my name because that is in itself, that's distance.
Facts.
That's fractional. That's broken.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all.
As
Yeah,
far as I
I don't
look
agree
at
with
it,
that at all.
you know, that it's Mr. and Mrs. blank, not
We're-
Mr.
we're a fucking
not,
team.
not Mr. So and so and Mrs. So and so.
No,
I get
we're
what
a
you're
team.
saying.
Yeah, we're a team.
I get what
So
you're saying.
I look at the name establishment is a part of the unity.
Sure.
We would have to find
And
some
your
type
kids,
of middle ground.
the kid thing too.
Right, yeah, because we
Yeah.
can't, then the conversation of, oh, whose last name is the kid taking?
Both.
If you can't agree on the last name taken when you guys get married, what's your kid's name's going to be?
But I mean,
Now-
can you put both on a birth certificate? I think you
Listen,
can.
listen. There's a
You can
lo-
name that child whatever
listen,
you want to.
Listen,
Yeah.
all the rich families they have 4 names,
Yeah.
4 to 5 names.
You're right.
Boxy.
They have a lot of names. They combine the family names.
Like I said, in Latin countries, they do that.
That's what I'm saying.
And I was going to say, and if a hyphenation is something that you come to, I'm all for that. But I'm just saying,
You have to have some
there
sort
has
of.
to be
I get
some
what you mean.
form of
I get
unity.
what you mean.
Right.
I do understand that.
I think that might be where I would land. I would land on, okay, if you're not, we can hyphenate, we can try to combine, there just has to be some type of middle ground. For me.
Yeah, I guess like someone who's not married, like I just feel I don't know. I feel like I said, I'm very individualistic right now. Maybe that's the problem. Is like I'm thinking it very individual. Like I worked so hard for the things that I have, and my name holds weight like in my eyes because I'm like, if I change my name, then like connections that I have and people that I know, they may not be able to look me up anymore. Like those kind of things are real issues.
Yeah.
Changes a lot.
Like, I mean, you think about, I think about like a lot of my friends who have to change their names. I'm like, man, that's really hard. Like I knew this person as this name for so long. And like I said, if I'm trying to reach out to you and I don't know you
Searching
anymore,
Facebook.
like your
Facebook
name
gets tricky, man.
your name
It gets
is
really
different.
tricky.
Again,
I can't
that's
even
a-
find half of my friends now. I don't even
mean-
know where you
Well,
guys are.
honestly, and
Are you guys okay?
Here's the tip: most women go on Facebook. They go by their first name and their middle name. You'll never find them again.
That's a fact.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a fact.
Yeah, I'm
That's a
doing it
fact.
wrong, but yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It's just an interesting like identity crisis that I'm having.
That's a real thing that's happening. That's a real thing that's happening. Like
I feel like you're taking something away from me.
now here's the thing though.
You know?
If you feel differently about your partner, if you're like, no, I love you and I realize that just me taking this name doesn't change what we're building and working towards, like this is a union. All the principles that marriage is supposed to be under, that stuff is still real.
If the names are different, you're saying, or the same.
If one person is taking the other
Got
person's
you.
name, like I feel like it can turn into an emotional thing. How you feel about it, the
Yeah.
trust that you have with your partner, it can be broken down to that level.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'll do. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
I want to know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll keep you posted.
I have interesting things that my son says from the interesting things that my son says segment.
Is this what we talked about earlier?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
Here we go.
my son is at the age now where he asked,
No, he's not at the age where he should be asking this.
all right, that's true. Why he has to go to school if they don't teach him things that he needs to know to be an adult.
Smarty pants. He's a smarty pants.
Shout out to my son Dominic for
I want to point some things out here. Ashton's son is 11. I didn't realize this until I was 19.
that's a fact.
I
That's
was
a big
grown
fact.
woman. You
That's a
probably
fact.
this.
I was an adult. I was an adult.
Like, yo, I didn't need trigonometry.
The Pythagorean theorem. You talked about that earlier. Like, fam, I don't need this ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some things that my son
talks-
says. He's
I want to touch on this because this is a subject that I think not a lot of people are necessarily going to agree with me on. Actually, maybe not. I don't care. Either way, school isn't for everybody. There are people that excel in school. There are certain positions, there are certain jobs that absolutely require, as you know, a higher level of education, and I absolutely support that. But there are things in life that people are working at a high level that do not require. Honestly, you don't need a GED, let alone a college degree for. I will openly admit this. I don't have a college degree. I have no problem finding a successful job.
It's just your field, right? Like
It's
your field.
it's my field. I am a salesman by trade. That is my background since I graduated high school.
That's crazy.
And in reality, everything that I've learned to be successful at the jobs that I've held, I learned none of it at school. Not in a classroom.
I will argue that it may be a little tougher for a woman to not have education in this world. because you don't have
disagree.
the same opportunities. I think males get a lot of opportunities like labor jobs or trade jobs that women don't necessarily, we're not guided in that direction. And also, I may not be hired as a construction worker. I just,
You're not wrong.
So I will say that male dominated fields make more money. That's just a fact.
Right.
And female dominated fields don't make as much money even when we have a college education. So I will argue that.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
We're,
is that,
we're not here to
absolutely
argue no
fair.
facts.
That is
Not here to
absolutely
argue
fair.
no
because
facts.
like I said, like I would say that maybe more men go into the sales field in that way, or maybe they go into financial fields or labor jobs.
I was about to say it's the women's
I was-
women's salesman.
I was
that
just
get
about
me.
to- I was about
the
to
men's
say, though.
salesman. I
But
put a
it's
wall up. I was like, yeah, bro, that shit ain't gonna work.
predominantly
But
male.
women in sales, you guys can get me to buy a lot. just
For sure.
Just to be real.
I just felt like that was necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
I worked at a retail store and I was in the men's department and men would literally come up to me and they'd be like, I literally don't know what I'm doing. And I'd be like, I got you. I got you.
That's love.
Yeah.
That works.
They'd be like, help me, help you.
Right. I got a question though. It's an obvious question. I hope to see that going forward from school, that instead of going through the typical block that you push every type of shape through in order for the person to learn these specific things and become the same robots, I'm hoping that eventually we start to change our school system to figure out, it's like a test of figuring out what our people are passionate about, what their actual skills are, what would work for them versus them just going through the regular system. 'Cause
Yeah, in Europe, there's European countries where when you're in high school, or like I think it's actually I don't know for a fact, but I think it's like in junior high you go down a different path. Like when you're in high school, so you might go to like if I'm interested in design or something like that, like I may go through that instead of going through everything else.
Give me the basics through
Yeah.
grade school. Once I get to high school, let these next 4 years be solely focused on what I'm passionate about, what I'm good at, and where I want to go with my future and my career.
Yeah, for sure. I think no, I think that, and I was like, I will say like one of the things that you mentioned about education, and I'm sorry, this is kind of off topic a little bit, but like for me, for education, like I do think that higher education is important. It's not necessarily for everybody, but it changed my life.
Okay.
Because if you don't get out of your hometown, if you don't expand your mind, like I took electives in college that literally like changed me,
Right.
because it opens your mind to new experiences, new like diversity. If you don't experience diversity in your hometown, you meet people from all over the world in college. They have different perspectives. So I will say that, like, I think education is important for that.
Right.
For higher education is important. I mean, if you go to higher education in your town, but even then, there's going to be people from different walks of life that are in your class.
Right.
So it's interesting because when you're saying, I think you learn more at school than just like your subjects. Like you learn
should.
problem solving, you learn like how to time manage, you learn like in college I felt like I learned values in school versus just like the subject matter. Like I can tell you like what all the classes I took, but I can tell you who I met and I can tell you why I'm in the field that I am because of this person I met and what this person said at this lecture. Does that make sense?
The experience itself.
And
Okay.
I probably have a different outlook on it because I got those same level of experiences from traveling.
Right.
And not necessarily from school.
Yeah.
I traveled all across this country and I met people from different walks of life with different experiences and et cetera, much like you. But how I got there was different.
Yeah, and I studied abroad in school, and so that's how I knew different cultures and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think maybe at the core it is get out of your bubble.
Right. And
That's the
that's an
biggest thing.
avenue to get out of your bubble.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's put you in a lot of debt, so I don't know.
I just and
traveling will too.
right.
Yeah.
It's different debt.
My only thing is just like when you give that person an opportunity to explore different ideas and different things that they can do, that could push them in the right direction to want to continue to explore those things. Like we have the curriculum, the things that we learn, the basics. It's just like every time we get out of high school, it's like the same things.
They
It's
won't
like,
let you be creative in your own way.
right.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's definitely on the student's responsibility to figure those things out and explore those things.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
There are
it's not in the
things
studio.
so as the more in adulthood I get, the more of a disservice I realize that high school did for me and everybody else.
Yes.
The second that you become 18, you are 100% without excuse liable for everything on your credit report.
That's terrifying.
You should know how that works before you turn 18.
That's a fact.
Because when you figure it out at 24, you look at the 6 years that you've been fucking it up.
But Zach,
I'm still trying to repair
Zach,
those now.
Wait a second. That is all a part of the plan.
I understand that. I say fuck the plan.
Conspiracy.
I know they want you to be in debt when you come out, and in certain communities, they want you to be in debt. So I will argue that in certain schools, they are learning about those things, but in other schools
this gets
that
deeper.
they're putting. I mean, that's like me.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No.
We just don't got the time.
I will actually challenge this because I have friends that went to expensive private schools that still didn't
learn about it.
That still didn't get those.
They just don't
educations.
need to be in debt.
Now,
They
granted,
don't.
their parents taught them
That's true.
because they're in better off situations.
True.
But the school isn't teaching them these things.
Right.
And I'll take it even a step further. You got approved for a student loan for whatever the dollar amount is. You had no way of guaranteeing that you would be able to pay that student loan back when you agreed to it, correct?
Of course.
If
I don't
you
even remember agreeing to it.
If you went and tried to get a loan for a house for the same amount, they are grilling you.
I'm like, just to even rent an apartment, you have to have a co-signer. Like to rent an apartment for a year, you have to have like I couldn't when I was 18, I couldn't get an apartment by myself. My parents had a co-sign.
So
Definitely
just
tried
the idea of it all is like, oh no, we'll let you give us money. We'll let you give us money with no, like, you'll figure it out, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to something that could actually move you forward in life,
It's all a part of the plan.
That's a fact.
I do. I think they're purposely doing that to us.
and getting this information, understanding how loans work, understanding how credit works, you got to work to figure that shit
How
out.
about we have a class on relationships and how to freaking communicate with one another?
Therapy?
Period.
I know we talk
Yeah.
about therapy a lot on this podcast, but
It just
realistically, if you make that stuff accessible earlier,
That's all. This is
then
what
it's easier to
This-
deal with.
Like literally, crime would go down.
This
Like,
utopia.
so many things would go down.
this utopia of life that sounds so crazy. Instead of just doing the same thing that we've done for years and years and years, if you really want to create a better society, let's try to actually implement these things that are really important as you grow older. Teaching people to communicate, teaching people to manage their finances,
finances, yeah.
knowing about credit, all of these different, and finding out what you're good at and passionate about before they just throw you in the world and ask you to figure it out. By that time, distractions have already set in.
And also, we as millennials, it's like everybody's like, you need to find your passion at 18, and if you don't freaking find it,
It's
That
funny.
was-
I had a
I
conversation.
felt like I lost.
yeah,
My sister-in-law, she just graduated from high school. Her graduation was yesterday, and I had a conversation with her yesterday. I says, you need to take, honestly, you probably need to take the next year to 2 years to figure out what it is you really want to do. But in the meantime, you have to have a plan for being successful.
because you're expected to be successful.
Even if you don't know what you're going to do long term,
Right.
you have to we're going to put a plan together to make sure that you're able to be on the path where in 5-6 years, regardless of the path in life you decide to choose,
Those years went
you're
to
not
waste.
going to be struggling.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that's the biggest thing.
I do want to say congratulations to all of the graduates for 2021.
Yay, that's-
Let's get you guys a round of applause. Shout out to my brother Josh. Love you, broski. Proud of you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to all the graduates. Congratulations to Gabriella, since we're talking about family. Shit, fuck you. Not Gabriella. I'm talking about Ashley. So I want to ask you guys a question, and this will kind of go further into what my next point is. When is the first time you looked at your credit score?
Shit.
When I
You
think
said the first time?
The first time.
I think when I got my first apartment, I think so.
How old?
I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ashton?
I was 22-ish.
Wow, I'm bad off then. I was 24.
Yeah, between 22 and 24 is when I had to look at
The
it.
first time I looked at my credit score was I was 24, and it was when I was trying to buy my first house.
I didn't know what a credit score was. Like,
I
I
didn't
had no
understand it.
idea what it was.
That makes sense to me.
Like, I was like, numbers, like, what good? Yeah, what is it good? I was like,
when they say you got your credit score or you have bad credit, but that's okay because you're young because you don't have any credit. I was just like, wait, huh?
but see, my mom was super smart. Like, my mom has an amazing credit score, and she like did not let me get any credit cards. She's like, nope. Like she was like being very specific. She's like, if you get a credit card, you need to manage this money. Like, be smart about it. Like, she was very like, didn't let me do stupid stuff.
Shout out to Madre.
This
Yeah.
is what, so I because I just had this conversation yesterday. This is what I told my sister-in-law. I says, you're going to apply for a credit card. You're going to get the credit card. You're going to take some whatever subscription that you already have.
Yeah.
An already existing subscription. You're going to change
Like
it
Netflix
to that
or
credit.
something, yeah.
Something like that. You're going to change it
Yeah.
to that credit card. You're going to set up that credit card for automatic payments, and we're cutting that credit card up, and you'll never use it again.
Yep, and you just pay every month. I did that with LA Fitness. That's how I got like some of my credit up when I was younger. Is I just put LA Fitness.
And when you
on there.
have no credit established, that simple thing will do wonders.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have a 750 without realizing a damn thing.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that 750, when you go buy a car,
Yep.
when
crazy.
you go buy a house,
Crazy.
that is all the power that you need.
Had no idea.
It's scary to me though. Like, why though?
Had no
I
idea.
know too many people that's credit scores are in the fives and low sixes.
And let me tell you what, I'm not marrying you and taking on your debt and taking on your low credit score. I'm not doing it.
Why not?
So let me tell you,
What if you got a duffel bag full of money?
I was telling you something. Let me tell you something, okay? I didn't accrue like a bunch of debt, and so you did, not me.
Right.
You did.
That shouldn't be your responsibility.
Period.
I'll say this. I had bad credit and a lot of money for a long time.
I know that's tough, but like I think Tinder profiles should have like your credit score on there.
That is
Changes the game, and that's gonna segue us into another topic for another episode.
I'm not ready for that conversation. I don't think. I think
Look at it. We're looking long term.
I heard you.
realistically,
I heard you.
but it is. You're absolutely right. It is an important conversation to
Yes,
have
yes.
in a relationship.
Right.
Is hey, what's your credit?
What kind of debt are we looking at?
More importantly, what's on your credit report?
Yeah.
And to me, I think if you're like reckless with your spending, I think you may be reckless in other areas of your life.
Wowzer.
And that's my opinion. Like if you're reckless, like if you're buying things that you don't necessarily need.
Psychoanalyzation.
I don't know if that's true, but
It's valid.
It's like
It's a
to me
valid-
that maybe you're not
I agree.
responsible in other areas of your life. And it's like I'm
agree.
looking for a responsible man.
That's true. That's fair.
You know, I'm looking for someone who
And you could be
is gonna
working
make
on
my
that.
future bright.
And you could be working on that, and men, you're still the prize.
Crickets.
Good job, man. I ain't fucking with you.
Sex.
I didn't know it's press. I just pick one.
That's okay.
I get it. You guys got anything else that you guys want to add, share? This is the Gentleman's Club Podcast.
I didn't do it.
I'm sorry.
You were
Wait.
too eager.
Let's do it again. This is the Gentleman's Club Podcast. All right.
There wasn't as much energy, but I'll give it to you.
That was adorable.